We have reached the month of Elul, the month before Rosh Hashanah. And that month is a month of reflection, of contemplation, of trying to improve ourselves to help us prepare for the High Holy Days. And I said that this year, last week I mentioned that my companion would be this book, Unfolding, a High Holy Day Companion by Rabbi Karyn Kedar. And my reading for today is from page 23. It's called The Inner Life, Cheshbon HaNefesh, which means an accounting of the soul. The inner life is complex and complicated. It is a paradoxical landscape that is hard to decipher and yet so familiar, magnificent but confusing. An unattended field that has been neglected, ignored and forgotten. The place where I feel lost. The place where I feel found. It is home. I live from the inside out. Here rests the narrative of my life, my stories and my memories, the many promises and aspirations of my soul. Here live my pain, my fears, and an obstinate character that resists change. I go inward and tread upon the sprouting weeds, wild flowers and grasses. Each step animates grasshoppers, gnats and flies that sting the ankles, bite and buzz. Each step shows me what it means to be in awe of the beauty of the occasional butterfly, glorious and free. Each step brings me closer to understanding and self-awareness. How I long to be glorious and free, free from the fears that make me behave badly, free from guilt, free from anxiety, free to be authentic, earnest, and loving. The king is in the field, the king is in the field, proclaims the altar Rebbe. It is Elul, and God has left the palace, no longer on the elusive and distant throne in a faraway palace surrounded by moats and guards. Royalty is in the field. The eminence is in the field. And I run to greet the majesty as I search for meaning, for purpose, for my essential self. Elul, I shall tend to my inner life. Elul, and reckon with my human frailty. Elul, I walk in a fertile field of longing, of belonging. Elul, reach for me, O transcendent force, and I shall be tender and gentle. Make my small and simple life grand and expansive, as large as the horizon of possibility. I am in the field to greet you. Where are you? I really enjoyed this reading by Rabbi Karyn Kedar. I love the idea of the inner field, this metaphor of God being in the field, as she mentions from the altar Rebbe. The idea is that God is in amongst us. God is not withdrawn. It's during the month of Elul that it's easier to form relationship with God. And yet, it's not a small field. And so that's why right at the end, she asks, I'm in the field to greet you. Where are you? Because this is about relationship. Teshuvah, the return to God, is a two-part relationship. It's our return to God as God returns to us. But God needs us to take those first steps. So it's not arrogance through which she writes this, I'm here, where are you? It's much more, I know that you are coming out to meet me. I have now stepped into that field of self-awareness and reflection. And now, where are you? I need your guidance. And Elul is definitely a time for guidance. I really love the way that she says that as she's walking in the field, there are things that bite and buzz and sting. That's really important because the journey of self-reflection is meant to be painful as well as joyous and glorious. That's why she also mentions the butterflies, the beauty of the field. Because if we are truly searching ourselves, if we are truly trying to change ourselves, then we're going to need to face some uncomfortable truths. And that's going to be painful. So therefore, this unattended field that she says has been neglected, ignored and forgotten, I really love that idea. That idea of we're so busy with the rest of our lives, we may not always have time to stop and reflect. But the month of Elul says, no, this is the time. This has to be done now. And so we're kind of forced into the field, but we also choose to step into that field of the self, of the soul. We choose to step in. We choose the path we take. Are we going to take an easy path, which is just nice and light, or are we going to take a challenging path, which will change us, transform us? Can we hold both together? Can we have a glorious path that is also challenging? How I long, she says, to be glorious and free, free from the fears that make me behave badly, free from guilt, free from anxiety, free to be authentic, earnest, and loving. I think this is such an important paragraph because this reminds us it's this kind of thing that holds us back. So during the month of Elul, we have the opportunity to address this. What is it that makes me behave badly? What is it that causes me to feel guilt? What is it that causes me to feel anxiety? Why am I not authentic, earnest, and loving? Because I know I should be. So I think Rabbi Kedar has really opened up the month of Elul for us. I think she's really helped us to start that journey into the month of Elul, that glorious and also challenging journey. And I love the way that she ends it with this prayer, reach for me, O transcendent force, and I shall be tender and gentle. Make my small and simple life grand and expansive, as large as the horizon of possibility. This is the moment where we see everything possible. We envisage a better selves, ourself. What is the best person we can be? Where is that horizon of possibility? It's huge, it's expansive. We ask for God to reach to us, to help us, pull us into that horizon, so long as we take the first steps. I hope that you'll be able to join me in our Kabbalat Shabbat service. Before the Shabbat service, we blow the shofar. And it's been a while since I've blown the shofar. Our blessing is Lishmoa Kol Shofar, and I'm blowing this because it's a tradition during the month of Elul, and also just in case you're not able to be at our service. And I'll be blowing this throughout the month of Elul. Our blessing, Lishmoa Kol Shofar, thanking God who commands us to hear the sound of the shofar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. I hope you'll be able to join me in our service this evening for a rather interesting sermon, I believe, about British politics and what's happened in the last few weeks and why it affects us. I hope you'll be able to join us in our Torah study tomorrow, which looks at the topic of justice. Justice, justice you shall pursue, says our Torah portion this week. What if we don't agree on what is just? And then we have our conservative service. We really encourage you to join us for that tomorrow morning as well. I hope to see you then, and I wish you Shabbat Shalom.